Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas and welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And today we are really excited. We love talking with the actors, especially getting to know a new actor. It's so much fun. And today we have with us Evan Alexander Smith, who we just saw in Newport Christmas. And Evan, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so this is your first time on the podcast. So we want to get a chance to get to know you. So why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners and tell us a little bit about how you got started in acting?
Sure. My name is Evan Alexander Smith. I played Francis in A Newport Christmas, which premiered last week. I'm originally from a suburb of Toronto called Mississauga, Ontario, in Canada.
Oh, nice.
And I grew up in a family that loved musicals. From the earliest time I can remember, my parents were playing Les Mis on long car rides on the way to see family. And they were subscribers at the local sort of touring theater in Toronto. And so from a really early age, I was going to the theater all the time and just really fell in love with it, and went to a performing arts high school and eventually, found my way into a college program, and have been lucky enough to get to do this for the past 15 years or so. So it's been a fantastic journey.
Well, I was looking in your IMDb and I'm like, this is his own, I think his third project.
Yeah. This
is on film, at least, of course.
Yeah. It's the first movie I've done. I've done primarily theater for my entire career, and this past spring kind of really made a concerted effort to focus a little more on the on-camera side of things, and to sort of stay available for a second to explore what that might feel like.
Yeah.
And I've been really lucky to get to do some really cool stuff this year, not the least of which is this Hallmark movie, which I was really excited about.
I know that it's a really different set of skills doing acting on camera. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I especially felt it watching back the performance last week. It has a way of showing you everything that you wish you could have done differently. I mean, I've trained quite a bit for on-camera stuff. There are brilliant teachers here in New York City who train for that technique, but it's a very different medium. And it's a very different way of performing. I love it. But it's a whole other set of muscles to work. The last show I did on Broadway before doing A Newport Christmas was Back to the Future, which is like the most wildly theatrical thing I've ever done, and was very large. So bringing that all back for on-camera stuff was a huge adjustment.
Yeah, well, I was so excited to see your biography, all of these incredible shows that you've done, and I'm like, oh gosh, I love all of those shows. I mean, I have seen The Plate That Goes Wrong so many times that it's out of control, and that must have been a blast to be a part of.
Yeah, I remember seeing the original British company when they were in previews for the show in, I want to say like 2017. I got a ticket from a friend who couldn't go and had no idea what it was about. I'd never heard of it, and sat laughing nonstop for 2 hours. It was like the best time I'd ever had in a theater. Never thought I'd get to do it. And then all of a sudden, got to do the tour, did it for a year, spent 6 years away from it doing other things. And then this past summer, was asked back to join the Off-Broadway company. And I've been there since June. And it's wild. It's exhausting. You can hear in my voice a little bit. We spend most of the day, all of us in the show, recovering and getting ready for the show that night. But it's such a good time. And there's nothing like looking out, especially in the small theater like we have off Broadway. There's nothing like looking out at a house where you can see everybody's face and just watching how much people enjoy it. I feel so lucky. I love it.
Yeah, it's probably, outside of something like Christmas Carol, it's probably the most popular play in Utah right now. I would say it's straight play. It's very, people love it, and rightfully so. I mean, it's one of those ones that's kind of hard to screw up, just because it's just funny. Funny is funny. you know?
Well, and there's so many different ways you can do it. I mean, we focus on like a
Yeah.
very trying to play it very truthfully and earnestly in our production, but it can be a sort of big madcap over the top thing. It can be a
Yeah.
pantomime, there are a lot of different ways to have fun with it.
That's a really good point. So there's a very, very, very small community theater that put it on, and it was the last time I saw it. And I was thinking, is this going to work? Because how are they going to do like the second story and with like all of this? And you know what? I think it actually is one of my favorite versions because it's supposed to be about a community theater that everything goes wrong. So in a way, it I think it suited it almost the best.
Totally.
You
Totally. It's
know?
wild now that it's playing in community theaters and high
Yeah.
schools. And there are people, when we first did it on tour, it was brand new for everybody. And now we're having people come and see the show who've done it in their hometown
Hmm.
or in their school. And it's a totally different experience. We have, people in t-shirts, sometimes dressed up as characters from the
Yeah.
show, which
Bringing
was,
like bringing their like Duran Duran.
yes,
Yeah.
it's wild. It's wild. No, I
Yeah.
love it.
Have you always played the director?
I have, yeah. So
Okay, yeah.
I originated that part on the first national tour. And yeah, did that for
Uh-huh.
that year and then came back. The thing about this
Yeah.
show is, especially that off-Broadway company, everybody loves doing it so much that nobody ever leaves.
Yeah.
So there's very little turnover because people are so happy and love the
Yeah.
show so much. So this was the first opportunity I've had to come back.
Yeah. So again, I was looking at your biography and you have done some incredible musical theater, Ragtime, Guys and Dolls. I mean, that's incredible. And Merrily
Yeah.
We Roll Along, unbelievable.
Yeah, I've been really lucky. I think like to get to do this at all professionally is like an
Yeah.
unbelievable gift, but to get to
Hmm.
work on those shows at those theaters with such
Yeah.
incredible companies has been, I mean, I feel very, very lucky.
Yeah, I felt very lucky getting to see Merrily We Roll Along, and of course that was the hot ticket that season. But I love stories of friendship,
Yeah.
and so I just thought it felt very emotionally true, the show, and I
Yeah.
think that's why it worked.
Well, I mean, especially between the three of them, like
Yes.
John, Dan, and Lindsay, they had such beautiful chemistry and they really treasured their time together. And I
Uh-huh.
remember when the show was first getting ready to be put off Broadway at New York Theater Workshop, they spent a ton of time together going to museums, getting to know each other's significant others, spending time with each other's families to really build that friendship from the
You can
ground
feel
up.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then a year and a half down the road, like Jonathan was officiating weddings for like they're very, very close, and that was beautiful to watch. All of this sort of like emotional truth, it all came from a really real
Yeah.
place.
I'm so excited to see the pro shot coming out.
Me too.
I
Me
can't
too.
wait.
I was really I left the show the week before they filmed that.
Oh, really?
I yeah, I had the opportunity to go and replace it at Back to the Future. And
Oh,
we had
yeah.
tried to work it out with the timing so that I could do both, but they just with the tech schedule
Yeah.
at Back to the Future, there was no way to make it work. Anyways,
Yeah.
I all that to say, I'm going to be as big a fan as everybody else watching it for
Yeah.
the first time. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. I hear it's wonderful. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind the scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies. So when you were on Little Shop of Horrors, were you Seymour?
So I was the vacation cover for Seymour and Oren,
Oh,
which
okay.
essentially was really kind of a COVID cover when I started there. They opened just before the pandemic while I was still on tour, and then
Hmm.
everything shut down. And when they came back,
Yeah,
they realized they were going to need an extra body or two around because of, the health protocols with
sure.
the pandemic, and so right away I was on quite a bit, just because of how quickly
Yeah,
things spread through the companies. But yeah, I was there for the better part of 2 years, off and on.
yeah.
I was there for a year, and then I left to do the off-Broadway run of Merrily, came back for another 6 months, and then went to Broadway. But I played Seymour, probably about 100 times. It's like my favorite role I've ever played. I
It's so
loved, loved,
cool.
loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that off-Broadway production in 2021, and it was my favorite of all the shows I saw that trip.
Yeah. Who did you see as your Seymour and Audrey?
Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember their names, but
Okay,
it wasn't anybody, like super famous.
cool.
But they were incredible. But I really love how just intimate, and I love the fact that it's off Broadway.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, there's something
suits that
about
show so well.
and I don't think it could ever really like work in a, 2000 seat theater. There's something about being there in that small
Yeah.
room together that yeah. No, I
Yeah,
agree.
I saw a very very excellent production here locally that was on a bigger stage, and it was really quite great. But there was something that was missing
Yeah.
in that large stage. It just I don't know, it just doesn't quite suit that show.
Yeah, I agree. It should feel like
Yeah.
a small little, I mean, there's only
Hmm.
what I think 5 actors, 8 actors. Anyways, I
Yeah.
think that the more intimate it can be, the better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, and then so Back to the Future, you played George McFly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw that show in one of my trips, and it's like I haven't been to Broadway since last December, but
Okay.
just by luck, I've seen Back to the Future, I've seen Merrily We Roll Along, seen Little Shop of Horrors, I've seen a bunch of the shows that you've been in, I've seen The Play That Goes Wrong, so but that show is such a spectacle show,
Yeah. Yeah.
incredible, the lights, these visual effects that they do, really fun.
Yeah, it's over the top. It's I
Hmm.
think the most technically advanced thing I've ever done. I mean, there's like LED screens that take up the entire stage. There's lights in
Yeah.
every single crevice of the theater that they can use. I mean, I don't want to give away the ending, but the DeLorean is kind of unbelievable. I remember
Yeah.
I first saw it when I found out I was going to audition for it. I went and saw it, and
Mhm.
the last 20 minutes of the show, hearing the original sort of like orchestral music from the movie
Uh-huh.
live while all of that incredible technical stuff is happening. I mean, I felt like I was six
Yeah.
again. I grew up
Yeah.
on that movie, watched it with my dad, every weekend. It was one of those movies that was always on. So it was, yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, and it's one of those Broadway musicals that really sticks pretty close to the movie. Like it's pretty much shot for shot.
Yeah.
But the spectacle of it works so well that I didn't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best like screenplays ever written, So I think the
Yeah.
approach to it was like, don't mess with the good thing. Let's find how we can like infuse music and theater into it while
Yeah.
keeping everything that was special and great about the original script.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job too.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's author Kate Hendrickson and her new book, Christmas Switch. She plans Christmas down to the minute. He wings it every year. But this holiday season, Type A wife Allie and her laid-back husband Tommy are switching roles and learning that sometimes the best gifts are the ones you don't plan for. Christmas Switch is a witty, heartwarming holiday rom-com novel perfect for fans of Hallmark movies, hot cocoa, and happily ever afters. When Allie and Tommy swap holiday duties, she's in charge of the outdoor lights and he's taking over Christmas dinner. Everything that can go wrong does. But in the middle of the chaos, they rediscover laughter, love, and what really matters most during the holidays. It's funny, festive, and full of heart, the perfect cozy read for anyone who loves Christmas stories that make you smile. Christmas Switch is available now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million, free with Kindle Unlimited or at kate-hendrickson.com. Settle in by the tree and unwrap the love, laughter of Christmas Switch this holiday season. That's kate-hendrickson.com. How did you first hear about the Newport Christmas?
Kind of the same way that any other gig would come along. My agent
Uh-huh.
sent me an audition, and it happened like whip fast. I think
Yeah.
I got the audition request on a Friday afternoon, and submitted the tape probably on a Monday or Tuesday. And I think
Uh-huh.
midday Wednesday, I got a text from my manager saying, "Hey, they're interested in you for this. Can we just double check that you're available?" And maybe an hour later, got a call saying, "Okay,
No
it's going to
way.
happen." So it was super fast. Um, and yeah, and the surprise of it all was my agent also represents Talia Simone Robinson, who plays Christine, and he said,
Yeah.
"By the way, your love interest in the movie is going to be Talia, who I'd worked with on Merrily We Roll Along,
Uh-huh.
and had
Yeah.
spent a year in rehearsals with." She understudied Katie Rose Clark as Beth in that show, and I understudied Jonathan Groff as Frank, and so we'd
Uh-huh.
spent the better part of a year doing those parts. They're married in the show,
Uh-huh.
together. So it was this like incredible sort of reunion, and the chemistry was already there, which was
Yeah, see, that
fantastic.
must have helped because you already were friends. And so, because you are the secondary relationship, but you need to be able to sell the chemistry in just a few scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny too because we didn't have a ton of time on set with everybody. We were there for about 3 weeks, but most of Talia and I's scenes were together and separate from the rest of the movie.
Mhm.
So we had a lot of time to just sort of like be in Buffalo together, which is where we shot.
Yeah.
And like go to the movies and hang out and just really sort of get to spend that time together, so that when
Uh-huh.
we got in front of cameras and were rolling, everything just felt super natural.
Yeah, yeah. I think that must have helped a ton to be
Yeah.
able to make it stand out so much
Yeah.
as it did. So, did you were you aware of like Hallmark movies? Did you know? Had you seen any
Oh
before
yeah.
being in one? Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and her mom are like Hallmark super fans. So every year we have the Hallmark Channel on basically from like
Uh-huh.
November 1st until the end of January.
Were they all
um,
really excited
oh,
when
so
you found
excited.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, my mother-in-law was our first call and she freaked out. Hallmark movies for us, I think, especially as lucky as I've been the last couple of years getting to, work on Broadway and off Broadway, when you come home from a show, often it's like you're still feeling like a lot of like adrenaline and
Uh-huh.
stress. And Hallmark movies were always our way to wind down,
Yeah.
and to just sort of like kick back and relax for the holiday season. So they've always been special for us. We love Hallmark. I never ever
Uh-huh.
thought, though, that I would get to be in a Hallmark movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it was an incredible surprise.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, hopefully it's the first of many.
I hope so.
That would be great.
Knock on
That would
wood.
be great. Yes. I mean, it must have been fun to get to like wear a tux. That doesn't happen on that many Hallmark movies.
No, no, to like walk
Yeah.
into that ball the night that
Yes.
that they had it all set up. There was this gorgeous Christmas tree and like 100 extras who were all decked
Uh-huh.
out. Keith, who did our costumes, did an incredible job. The set and the design for that movie was beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that costume was wonderful. Talia looked so beautiful, and Wes and Jenna, like it, they did such a beautiful job.
Yeah. So the big important scene with the fans, was that something? How did you prepare for that scene?
Oh gosh, I mean, Talia and I
Yeah.
had sort of talked about it a little bit before. That was my audition scene,
Uh-huh.
um, or one of the audition scenes. So I remember thinking, I just have to kind of relax into it because I think if we put too much on it because it's this sort of big romantic moment that it would
Uh-huh.
feel. We didn't want to make it like too important because I think it would freak us both out. So we didn't really. We talked a little bit about how we might want to approach the kiss. There were
Uh-huh.
a couple of different versions of the kiss. There was maybe like a more romantic version that we shot at one point that didn't make it in.
Uh-huh.
But no, there wasn't much preparation. I think like Dustin, our director, was so fantastic, and he did such a good job at just sort of letting everybody be themselves and do their thing. It was a very loose kind of set. There was a lot of improv, there was a lot of play, and it meant that every time the camera rolled, we could just try something new, and not focus too much about
Yeah.
trying to get something right, which helped in that moment.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole
What
lot of pressure.
I think especially that would help for her in that scene because she's supposed to be like a little shy. She's kind of almost hiding behind the fan and everything. And it's so sweet.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's so lovely in that part. She did such a great job.
Hmm.
At one
Yeah.
point, there was a line in the script, as they were sort of fleshing out our relationship. There was a line in the script about how it couldn't work between us because she didn't have the confidence. And I think when they saw what a dork I was and how, I think
Yeah.
that kind of changed. But no, I thought she was so fantastic and did
Yeah.
such a beautiful job, especially in that scene.
Well, and I loved every single time that Jenna Claire called her the lady boss. Like
Yeah.
you're lady boss. Like that was so funny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of times in these kind of movies, the lady boss is a nice queen of business. She's, which can work and it can be funny. But I loved the fact that they not only made her so great, but they gave her a whole subplot romance, secondary
Yeah.
romance.
Which you don't, I think, usually get with
No,
the
you
sort of
don't.
like the secondary characters in the movie. But I
Yeah.
think you're right. They certainly could have made her like the controlling crazy museum director. But I think
Yeah.
what was more important was just having this like uh, seeing the bond between Wes and Talia and I as these people who work together.
Uh-huh.
But this friendship that over the course of the movie brings the four of them together, I thought was lovely and. Yeah, it was really about friendship and not about some sort of weird
Yeah.
work dynamic.
Well, I mean, it must have been fun for y'all to work with Jenna Claire because she's a Broadway girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the whole time when we were sitting in the makeup chairs and stuff or waiting between takes, all we did was talk about musicals.
Yeah,
I think
I bet.
Talia and Gina Claire were singing things together all day. Wes hasn't been on Broadway, but he's a huge Broadway fan.
Oh, really?
We
Okay.
randomly met backstage at Merrily We Roll Along like a year
Oh, I
before
didn't
we
know
shot.
that.
And then he came and saw The Play That Goes Wrong with one of our producers from Hallmark a couple of months ago, and immediately afterwards, he was like, "How do I get to play your part?" So he's a big theater person as well. He loves theater. He
Yeah.
sings. So the four of us together, it was just like we all we did was talk about our favorite
Yeah.
shows.
I bet. Yeah, that would be so fun.
Well,
And I
we figured like the biggest shame of it all was that there wasn't a way to get the four of us all singing together. You've got like four people who love theater and who all sing, and we were trying to find a way to work in like Christmas caroling or something. But
well, my dream is that someday they'll do a true Hallmark Christmas musical. They
oh, I
they
would
came
love that.
pretty close to Jenna Claire's movie last year because she actually played a Broadway performer, and so there were quite a few songs in that. So that was pretty close, but it was more. It wasn't like a musical. It was just her, singing quite a bit, which was great. But I would love it, and I feel like it would do such bangers.
Yes.
I
I
think
mean,
everybody would watch it. Everyone would love it.
I think the crossover between Hallmark fans and musical theater fans is probably
Yeah.
there's a lot of synchronicity
So too.
there.
Yeah. And I mean, what's more synonymous with Christmas than music,
Right?
you know?
I agree.
So and those live musicals do so well,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the live Rent or live, all those things that they've done, live Annie.
Yeah.
So I think it would do really, really well.
If
And
anybody at Hallmark is watching, we're ready to do it.
yes,
Let's
let's
go.
do it. Yes. Make me executive producer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie that you said it was shot in Buffalo, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So
There was
that must
one
have
week
been
that they shot at the
fun.
very end that they did in Newport. They did some outdoor scenes like at the port down there, and that was the very end
Uh-huh.
of filming. But yeah, the majority was in the Niagara region.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that must have been fun to go up there and do
It was
that.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
as you can see, I'm a big Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, to get to go there again was fantastic. I grew up just across the lake from Buffalo, and again just across in Mississauga. And on the clear days, when we were shooting in the mansion, you could see it because it backed onto Lake Ontario. You could see across the lake to Toronto. And I remember calling everybody over and being like, "That's my home. That's my home." So it was nice to sort of feel like I was, close to home.
Mhm.
The crew there is all fantastic. I don't think I realized how much actually shoots there. There's a ton, and there are
Oh,
people
that's
who,
interesting.
Yeah, who like live and work there full time. It wasn't like they sort of picked up a crew and brought them to Buffalo. There's an incredible
Hmm.
filmmaking community there of really
Yeah.
talented people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. The food was incredible. The people were great.
Yeah.
And it was gorgeous. Our hotel overlooked the Niagara River, and because it was
Yeah.
still sort of the end of winter, you'd see every morning ice floats come by. It felt like, it was like this romance
Yeah.
novel.
Well, I mean, if you have roots in Toronto, you should be able to do there are like tons of Hallmark movies shoot there.
Yeah, yeah, I would love
Yeah.
to go
Plus
back
The Way
and
Home shoots in Toronto.
yeah, When Calls the Heart, I think shoots.
That's in Vancouver.
Is that Vancouver? Kevin
Yeah, that's
McGarry and
Vancouver.
I grew up doing theater in a town called Niagara on the Lake at the Shaw Festival.
Oh
So yeah,
yeah,
he's an old friend too. There's
that's
like
cool.
Hallmark tie-ins everywhere.
The Good Witch shot in Toronto when
Right, right, right.
that I was doing. So there's been a bunch of Hallmark shows and of course movies that shoot there. It's like the if it's not Vancouver, then you have a good chance of Toronto as pretending to be New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I would love to go back up there and work back home.
Oh, that would
Be
be
great.
so cool. That would be so cool. So considering this was your first movie, were you nervous going on the set?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, a little bit. I think like the first day, certainly there were those like first day scaries that we all kind of felt, like Talia and I especially.
Uh-huh.
But I think like Wes and Jenna Claire were the first thing we shot was this scene that happens in the lobby of a bed and breakfast when we're taking, Jenna Claire sort of into our fold for the first time. So it was the four of us together, and Dustin really wanted to make sure, our director really wanted to make sure that we had that first day, first scene to establish the chemistry between the four of us and to get us all together on the same page in the same place. And I think because of that, it helped us to feel much more comfortable super quickly. So yeah, I was nervous, but because it was such a welcoming crew and everybody was so great, I think a lot of those nerves went away really quickly, and it very quickly became just about having fun with my friends, you know?
Well, and I guess you could probably even use that to your advantage with the character because it's supposed to be kind of nerdy and a little
Yeah,
bit, a little awkward,
absolutely. Yeah, no,
you know.
the nervouser I was, the nervier I was, the dorkier I became, and I think
Yeah.
that all helps.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
Well, we like to end our interviews with some fun, get to know you questions. And I'm going to give you this special one because I'm going to combine my Broadway special questions and my holiday questions. So
Sure.
this is going to be really good. Okay. So the first question, what is your favorite holiday drink?
Oh my gosh. I mean, eggnog,
Yeah.
and put anything in it, but I could drink quarts and quarts of eggnog, not all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, eggnog.
Good choice. Okay. What is your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
Oh gosh, holiday cookie or treat. I mean, my mom used to make incredible sugar cookies. My mom was a huge baker, is a huge baker. But when I was growing up, we had tins and tins of butter cookies and sugar cookies.
Mm,
Yeah, that's I think
yeah,
what brings me right back.
that sounds good. All right. What is your favorite cast recording?
Oh my gosh, my favorite cast recording. It feels like such a shameless plug, but I thought they did such a beautiful job with the Merrily We Roll Along cast
Yeah.
recording. I wasn't on the Little Shop of Horrors cast recording, but I listened to that like every day for 3 months while I was learning
Hmm.
the show, and I thought it was incredible. The
It's so
ones that
good.
I listened to the most growing up were the symphonic cast recording of Les Mis.
Oh, yeah.
There's a concept cast recording of, I'm sorry, this is getting way into musical theater land.
No, you
There's
never apologize for getting into musical theater with me.
There's a concept cast recording that I feel like is essential listening for any musical theater fan of Jekyll and Hyde, starring
Oh,
on this
Linda
recording,
Eder.
Linda Eder and Anthony Warlow, which
Oh
is
man.
like unbelievable.
Oh,
And then Into the Woods, the original company of Into the
yeah.
Woods. Those were the ones that growing up were just like on constant repeat for me.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, in that 10th anniversary concert of Les Mis, that
Yeah.
it was on repeat
I think I
growing up.
stole the VHS from our library.
Yeah.
Like at some point I gave it back, but I think for like a year, because we did it when I was in ninth grade. It was the first musical I did in high school. It was when they
Oh,
just released the
wow.
rights. So it was the first musical I did. And it was nonstop just watching
Mhm.
Colm Wilkinson sing those songs.
Yeah, yeah, so good, so good. I think if I was gonna pick probably my favorite cast recording, I would probably pick one that I think is even, I prefer it even over watching the show. And so I would say Dear Evan Hansen. I
Oh yeah.
love that cast recording. Like the show is enjoyable. I like it, but man, that cast recording is so good.
Yeah, so good. Those
I love it
voices, that
so
music.
much. Yeah, yeah, and Aida, that would be up there for me as well.
Aida is one that's always kind of been a blind spot for me. I feel like I have to go back
Oh,
and
you should.
yeah, Heather
It's really
Headley.
good. Oh yeah, Adam Pascal,
Yeah.
Sherry Renee Scott,
Oh
who
my gosh,
did Little
yeah.
Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I know.
I
She
would have
was
loved to see that.
me too. I mean, another one for me was the last 5 years with her and Norbert Leo
Oh
Butz. When I was
yeah,
in college, that
unbelievable.
was like,
Yeah.
my first year of college was that and Songs for a New World. It's like I discovered Jason
Oh
Robert Brown when I got to college, and it was
yeah.
those two constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sad I missed Sherry Renee Scott by like I
Yeah.
think like a month or two when I left to do Merrily.
Hmm. Okay, so what is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
Um, oh, that's tough. The Christmas song is like I feel like a
Yeah.
go-to. Um, I like the ballads, and I like anything like like Perry Como songs,
Hmm.
from Como songs from anything that feels like old and nostalgic for me. Those like
Yeah.
jazzy, big bandy ones,
Yeah.
are my favorite.
Good. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, I think is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that. All right. So I'm going to give you an either or Broadway edition. So which would you rather watch, Mamma Mia or Jersey Boys?
Ooh, tough. I think Jersey Boys, just because I had always wanted to play Bob Gaudio, and I love that music.
Yeah. Wicked or The Lion King?
These are really hard.
Yeah.
Um, I Wicked when I was in high school, toured to Toronto and I saw it like
Uh-huh.
3 times.
Yeah.
So it's very special for me. I think Wicked.
Mhm. Yeah. Annie or Matilda?
Matilda.
Hmm. Into the Woods or Company?
How do you do this? Man. Into the Woods. I played the baker in high school. So it's, like it's one of those
Yeah,
shows that's always
special.
so close to my heart.
Yeah. In the Heights or Hamilton?
Oh man, so hard. Hamilton, by like an inch, but they're both so good.
Mhm. Chicago or Cabaret?
Cabaret.
The Music Man or Annie Get Your Gun?
I've never seen either of those shows, which is maybe insane. So tie.
Okay. Last one, Les Miserables or Sweeney Todd?
Oh, for the aforementioned reasons, Les Mis, but I'm Sweeney Todd is so good.
Yeah. All right, back to Christmas. What is your favorite classic Christmas movie?
Oh man, I mean, I guess it depends on how we define classic, but Home Alone
Yeah.
came out when I was a kid, one and two, and like I just got the giant Home Alone. I am as much of a nerd as Francis is, which is why it felt so easy to slip into that part. I got the Home Alone Lego set last year,
Oh,
which
you
is like
did?
it's going to take me like 13 hours to do, but it's this massive thing of the house that you can take apart and open up.
Yeah.
Home Alone is like I think both movies are the two best Christmas movies ever
Well,
made.
you should post about that on on social media.
Oh, I
Putting it
will.
together. That would be
We're
fun.
waiting until Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's like sitting in the basement at my mother-in-law's house right now. So we got to go home and get it. But no, it's yeah,
That's fun.
100%.
You would be surprised that I would say 80% of interviewers, when I ask that question, say Home Alone. It is by far the most popular answer.
Yeah, I mean, especially for like
Yeah.
millennials, it's like the one we grew up with, you
Yeah.
know.
So, which do you like better, Scrooge or The Grinch?
Oh, A Christmas Carol is like such a great, like timeless Christmas story. The Grinch
Hmm.
is so much fun. I think Scrooge, A Christmas Carol, probably, but depends on the mood.
Yeah. Which do you like better, clear lights or colored?
Oh man, clear probably, but like there's something really nostalgic about colored lights
Yeah.
too.
Would you rather be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
I want to be in a snowball fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Would you consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
Medium.
I mean, okay. Yes. All right. Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
Oh, 100%. I thought about
Yeah.
wearing it for the interview today. It's sitting in a closet, buried away, but it will come out.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. All right. Do you have a favorite movie musical?
Favorite movie musical. I thought the Hamilton Pro Shot was really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I don't know if that 10th anniversary Les Mis concert counts, but that
Yeah.
I thought this feels like very topical in a way that feels like I'm cheating, but the Wicked movie
Oh, yeah.
I thought was so good.
Yeah.
I thought they did such an incredible
I'm just
job.
getting more and more hyped for the second one because I was pretty doubtful because the second act of Wicked, I'm like, how are we gonna do a whole movie on that? Like, there's really only it's mostly reprises, and I'm like, how are they gonna? But I've heard they just released today the new songs.
Oh no
Like
way.
literally, yes, you got to check social media. And so I was listening to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this year is going to be insane for best original song. Like
Yeah.
that's by far the most competitive category in the Oscars because you've
Yeah.
got Sinners, incredible songs. You have K-pop Demon Hunters, incredible songs. You've got these new songs on Wicked. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. It's going to be
Can't
fun to
wait.
watch.
Oh, I'm so excited. So yeah, great choice. Well, very good. You did it. You answered all the questions.
Yay.
Well, thanks so much for coming and talking with us. I really appreciate it. And if people want to follow you on your social media, how do they do that?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram is really the only place I think I'm active, and that's at I am Evan Smith. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to my website, which is just evanalexandersmith.com.
Great. Well, congrats on the movie. And it's so nice to get to meet you and talk musical theater and all the fun stuff. So thanks so much. And we have a very Merry Christmas.
You too. Thank you so much for having me.
We'd like to thank Evan for coming on the podcast. This was so much fun to get to talk with him. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about all the different things that we talked about in the comments section or on social media. Would love to hear your thoughts. You can find me at Rachel's Reviews all over social media. And if you want more of my theater thoughts, you can check out the Onstage blog, theater podcast that me and Jax we host fairly regularly. It's a lot of fun. So check that out. And make sure you're following the podcast, a Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews, 5 stars. That helps us so much. More people to find the podcast, get more listeners. It helps the algorithm. So please, please, please put in your ratings and reviews. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support everything that we're doing. You get to be part of watch-alongs and Q&As and other cool events, and you get to be part of bonus episodes. And we just started offering the patrons ad-free versions of every episode of both Rachel's Reviews and Hallmarkies Podcast. So that's a cool perk if you want to join the Patreon. And we have a merch store, and we have lots of fun holiday-inspired designs. So definitely take a look at that. We would sure appreciate it. And if you're looking for a gift for the Hardy in your life, the Postable in your life, we've got tons of inspired merch over there. Plus, I actually have a lot of theater inspired merch as well. So you should check that out if you want to get something for the theater lover in your life, movie lover, all that fun stuff. Would really, really appreciate it. There's the link, Dashery TeePublic store link in the description. We would sure appreciate that support. And thanks again to Evan, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.